Great morning. Happy Wednesday. How are you all doing? This is your girl Shan. Happy hump day. We are midway through the week. I had to set up a thing like what day is it? Like time is going by so quick. Sometimes I don't even know the day of the week. I have to cross it out on the calendar. Anyway. So I hope you all, like I say, every day is starting off your day amazingly, you know what I'm saying, in an amazing way, in a positive mindset. I'm gonna talk today about leveling up. I'm gonna talk today about leveling up, and I believe that it can speak to the singles and also the married. You know, I try to do that same thing. Hey, Tanya, how you doing, girl? I try to do that, and so first I'm gonna speak directly to somebody because hey, Wendy, God has placed this so heavy on my heart this morning, and it's somebody that, and I'm not trying to, prophesy and everything like that. I'm trying to be obedient to God. It's somebody that God has placed it on your heart for you to do a certain thing and you're being disobedient. You're not doing it. God has placed on your heart for you to separate yourself from some people. God has placed on your heart for you to, good morning, cousin Felicia, for you to go back to school. Hey, Natasha, God has placed on your heart for you to open up a business. But the reason why you're not doing it, especially if you're single, number one, is because of fear. Number two, if you're married, the reason why you're not doing it is because you're afraid that you are not going to get that support from your spouse that you need to make it through. Now, yesterday I was talking about working on the inside. And so today we're going to talk about working on the inside of your marriage. What is it that God has laid on your heart for some time to do that you're being disobedient, you're not doing out of the fear of your spouse not supporting you? Now, see, me and my husband was talking about this yesterday, and this is something that really, really irritates me. I believe in my heart, we as husbands and wives are to balance each other out. That's what we're supposed to do in marriage. Now, I don't know who is what, but I'm gonna call out some things. And hey, that's me. Hey, that's my husband. Whatever. One of you all in your marriage is the visionary. Even if you're single, one of y'all probably a visionary. God shows you things through visions. God shows you things, through dreams, visions, dreams, or whatever. God just shows you things and he brings things to you. One of you all have that gift. And in your marriage, one of you all are gifted in that, but you don't even share with your spouse the visions and the dreams that God has given you because you think your spouse, or your spouse is going to come against you. Your spouse is going to dog you and going to talk you down. One of you all, whether it be husband or wife, you're a go-getter in your marriage. When something happened, when something is dropped, when God tells you to do something, you do it. You get it done. It's no second thinking. See, husband and wife, one of y'all got a gift, and if not both of y'all, but you have a gift in your own right. But see, the reason why your marriage is not prospering, your life and your family is not prospering beyond what you desire is because you're not using that gift and you're not being obedient to the will of God. And a lot of it, if you're single, is because of fear of what others will say around you. If you're married, a lot of it is because you're too afraid of what your spouse will say. Now, I've talked about this before, and those who've ever served in the military, you've seen this all too often. You know how you have, husband and wife that are both in. I've talked about how they try to compete against each other. They get upset if their spouse get ranked quicker than them, or maybe, it's not in the military, somebody who work on the same job and they get upset because they work at the same, for the same company, but one level up before the other one, and you get mad. Me and my husband was talking about this. What I don't understand is this. What does it matter who level up first? Why does the spirit of competition have to come between the husband and the wife when at the end of the day, the money goes in the same pot and that's your home, right? That's how it's supposed to be. The money goes in the same spot. So why are you so fearful of what your spouse has to say that God has placed on your heart for you to do? I don't get it. On the flip side of that, why are you that spouse that instead of supporting your husband or your wife, you're always talking them down? You always belittling them. Let me give a good old example. So say I'm in school, right? I'm in school, say I'm finishing up my master's degree, and we go to a family reunion. And say one of the family members say, well, Shan, congratulations. I heard that you're one semester away from finishing your master's degree. Congratulations. I'm proud of you for getting out there and doing that. And say my husband is, and I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. Say my husband started talking and say, oh, I don't even see why she went back to that school. Mind you, it's not taken away from our home. We're not suffering because I don't see why she went back. And he just started talking a bunch of negativity and belittling me in front of the family because I did what God told me to do and I went back to school. I even had a conversation with my husband about it. And he started belittling me in front of the family. And then you got some people that start laughing. Yes, she's just wasting y'all money, whatever the case may be. And then I start feeling some kind of way because my support system, my husband, the one who's supposed to be my biggest cheerleader is the one that's putting me down. How many of y'all, don't tell on yourself, like I said, because this could be something sensitive. Oh, you just gonna blast me on social media. How many of y'all have battled and or are battling this same thing? How many of y'all do not have the spouse, the support, good morning, Miss Delia, from your spouse the way that you should? How many of y'all had to fight through this? Maybe God called you to go back to nursing school. Maybe God called you to the ministry and he called you to preach or whatever the case may be. But how many of y'all went through what God had you go through? Your spouse was not supporting you. Your spouse was talking you down like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Belittling you every chance they got. But then when you walked across that stage or you had to come up and receive that promotion on that job or you had your installation service at your new church because God called you to pastor a church or whatever the case may be, then your spouse is standing there all tall with their chest stuck out bragging, talking about this is my baby. Now, I ain't trying to start no issues in nobody's house. Good morning, Natasha, on this morning. I'm not trying to start no issues. But I asked my husband, I said, baby, why do you think that people do this? Why do you think people don't support each other? You know, and as we were talking, the first thing came to my mind is jealousy. Now, when you married, good morning, Akeisha, as husband and wife, when you are married, you know what I'm saying? It's bad enough that you got to deal with jealousy or jealous people outside of the home. When you're single and you're pushing and you grinding because you like, why not? You know what I'm saying? God told me to do this and this and this. I got to take these steps to get there. Why not? So it's bad enough you got to deal with jealousy outside of the home. Let's not deal with jealousy with your own spouse. And I'm gonna ask this question. I ain't trying to start no mess. Like I say, I try to encourage people to go deeper in their thought process. How can you sleep with someone? Oh yes, I'm gonna be blunt. Forgive me if you eating your Cheerios on this morning. Good morning, Cousin Kim. How can you sleep with someone? How can you say that you love this individual, yet you are jealous of them and you're married to them? I don't get it. And so oftentimes when people sit up here and complain about my marriage is stagnant, it's not going anywhere, we're not achieving nothing. Here it is 5-10 years later, and we're stuck in the same spot that we used to be in 10 years ago. We haven't went anywhere. Well, I'm going to ask you this. Good morning, Aisha. How you doing? I'm going to ask you this. Why are you not supporting your spouse? Okay? What is preventing you from being your husband or your wife's biggest cheerleader? Baby, I done told y'all, Mary Kay, you know what I'm saying? And doing Mary Kay. My husband, I was like, baby, you know, I want to learn the business aspect of things. Good morning, Thisha. You know, I want to do Mary Kay. I'm going to sit down with this lady and I'm going to go down some things because some of y'all, this is hitting on your front porch and stuff like that. And so I said, well, baby, what do you think about it? See, I didn't just jump into the business without talking to my husband. That's a whole nother video. Okay. I said, baby, what do you think about it? He said, okay, baby, if that's what you want to do. And when I tell you, when we would go on trips and get on the plane and fly to Baltimore, Maryland and flying to Florida and everything like that, guess who was right there beside me? My husband. When we were going to the Mary Kay conventions, good morning, Sister Lolo in Dallas, Texas. Y'all done heard something about it. Guess who was right there beside me? My husband. He was dressed up. Okay, baby, what we got to do next? To reach certain goals in my business, my husband was right there beside me. You see what I'm saying? When my husband was finishing his bachelor's program, baby, you need some help? See, we're willing to help our kids with homework, but we're not even to ask our spouse, baby, you need some help with something? Or what are you trying to think out? You see what I'm saying? We're not willing to do that. Ask yourself why. If you feel that your marriage is still stagnant and stuck, if you feel like you're not achieving stuff in your marriage, ask yourself why. You see what I'm saying? When I went to my husband and said, baby, you know, I wasn't even trying to go back to school, but God had put it on my heart, you know what I'm saying, to do this master's program. Good morning, Leslie. My husband was like, okay, And that man ended up getting accepted in the program before I did. And we end up going through our master's program together. You see what I'm saying? And even when God give you a vision, and like I said, some of y'all are visionaries in your marriage, but you don't walk out what God called you to do because of how your husband or your wife is going to belittle you. First of all, let me talk to these husbands and wives. If this is you, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Ask yourself, why won't you support your husband? Now, if they just out on the limb, every time you turn around, they doing this and that, and they ain't even consulting God. You ain't even seen them pray and do a Matthew 6:33 and consult God about anything. Then okay, maybe you that balance that needs to level them out and reel them back. You ain't got to talk them down. Well, baby, did you consult God? Okay, but forget that. Let's go ahead, me and you, because it does say we're two or more together. He'll be in the midst. So I'm hoping that he's going to be in the midst of this decision. Let's me and you pray right now about this and wait to hear something back from God before we do it. God is giving you all visions to write books because you got a story on the inside of you that you haven't wrote yet. God is giving you the vision to start business, but you haven't done that yet because you are afraid. And what if this ain't going to happen? God gave me the vision sitting on an airplane to open up a business. And my prayer is always this. I don't know how it worked for y'all. It's just how it worked for me and Mr. King. When God gives me something in a vision, I promise to God within 3 days, my husband have spoke that thing out of his mouth. When God gave me the vision to write the business, to do the business, and God gave me a glimpse of what it looked like, and all I could do was draw it down on paper. See, some of y'all don't have a vision in your marriage, and that's where Habakkuk, come on, let's put, because you know it's got a lot of K's in it. Habakkuk 2 and 2 come in. It says, write the vision and make it plain. And see, a lot of y'all ain't writing no vision, and you don't have no vision in your marriage. So if you don't have a vision, you don't have a mission. And if you don't have a mission, you're not going anywhere. You know how people look at people and say, wow, that's a power couple. Wow, you know how they can get the label of power couple? Because they work together and they support each other. I know I'm going to shout them out. I'm thinking they're not going to kill me. But one of the most amazing power couples, people try to say, you know, me and my husband in this area. But for me, one of the most amazing power couples that I've seen in Central Texas is Roderick and Latrice Jones, baby. Roderick and Latrice Jones. When I tell you, baby, they work together every step of the way. If y'all don't go on Facebook and look up exquisite and elegant designs, okay? Look them up or Google them. Baby, when I tell you they're a power couple and they work together, God gives her the vision and you'll see Roderick moving chairs. Okay, baby, is this where it's supposed to be? Is that where that's supposed to be? See, a lot of y'all ain't got no vision. And y'all not praying and seeking God in your marriage for what it is that he wants you to do. See, a lot of y'all just think your marriage is, I do, and that's it for the rest of your life. Because guess what? If God, good morning, Dre, if God didn't give vision and send people our way to say that y'all supposed to be doing this, y'all, because a lot of people try to come because, see, they try to come and attach themselves to the king because they see the what God has. God will show them, hey, Lord, what we have on our life. And see, people said out their mouth, that couple right there, they gonna go somewhere. Oh, God got a mighty work in them. See, that's the same thing with y'all. God got mighty things for y'all to do, but you can't even get on one accord as husbands and wives. And that's why your tail is still stale and stagnant in your marriage. You have no vision in your marriage. You don't pray together for what God tells you to do, but then have the audacity to not only get jealous of your spouse in your marriage, but you get jealous at those people who are out there actually walking out the vision of God. Because see, what me and my husband realizes, the things we went through in our marriage, it wasn't just for us. When God told us to open up that business, baby, we had no clue on God's green earth what we was doing. But see, this is how good God is. When God tells you to do something, he ain't gonna just keep you out there flapping. No, he's not. You ain't gonna be just flapping in the wind. God is gonna line that thing up and order the step and make provision where people just gonna be coming. What you say? You opening up a business? Oh, okay. Well, what is this business about? And I start telling people, well, this is what God told us. You know, my husband said, and you know what happened? Then people start jumping on the bandwagon. Okay, what you need help with? What you need us to do? Oh, I got a friend over here, and all the connections start to fall into place. You see what I'm saying? We've had connections. Some of y'all, let me give God some praise on today. Some of y'all have connected just by listening and coming in every morning on the Coffee Crew. Let me shout out out Brandy. Let me shout out Simone. Y'all connected and y'all have supported each other in business just because y'all came on this video every morning at 7:30. When I seen that thing manifest itself on Facebook, my heart was overjoyed because it's not about the kings. It's about the connection. And see, some of y'all ain't getting no connection and you holding on to the same toxic people who are not encouraging you, who are not supporting you, but you in your comfort zone. And God had told you to cut them people. Okay, their season is up. You ain't got to just, okay, I can't be your friend anymore. But God has been putting in your spirit and showing you thing after thing after thing. Okay, your season is up with this individual over here. Your season is up with this group of people. And you can't move on because as God has given you all the vision as husband and wife to do a certain thing, whatever that thing is, you're trying to carry everybody with you. But like they say, everybody can't go to where God is going to take you. And so if you don't learn how to fall back and observe, okay, God, my husband said some things and he ain't one to be like, okay, baby, you need to cut that person off. That ain't even my husband. But he done said, and I'm like, golly, God did tell me that a couple of times. See, some of y'all being disobedient and you can't level up because you got people who, see, like I said, somebody was ready to argue and debate with me on our personal social media page because of what I said. Sometimes you can't have conversation with people that are not to your level of where you have been, the level of your experience in your life. And so people got me, well, what do you mean? Are you trying to say because I never been through anything, I can't tell people nothing? Well, me personally, I'm not telling nobody nothing that I've never been through. How can I sit up here and tell you how to have a baby and all this other stuff and I'm a man and you ain't never pushed out a baby? How can I sit up here and tell you what a divorce is like and the things that you're going to go through if I've never personally been through it? See, that's when you really minister, but I'm going to get up off of that. However, the reason why I believe God says that you can't take people with you where you go is because if, number one, they can't understand the vision that God has given you as husband and wife, then the first thing they're going to do is talk you down. How many of y'all business owners out there? How many of y'all God has leveled you up in the ministry where you ministering on the pulpit or you teaching Bible study, you teaching Sunday school or whatever the case may be? How many of y'all that God has leveled you up in your business? And see, this is what I need you to look back. Fall back. I need you to fall back. I need you to look around. And you ain't even got to say nothing. See, we be ready to argue. You ain't got to argue because people who have not experienced your level of experience, they're going to argue and they're going to belittle you because their mindset, they haven't seen the big picture. And I'll give a good example of this. I'm not going to sit up here in the United States of America and just because, let's say my girl Natasha on her, either one of them, because both of them on her, I like when they both on. But say either one of my girls, Natasha's, are on her because both of them, I'm sure, have been overseas somewhere. But let's say Germany. If they'd have been to Germany and I just seen the pictures of what Germany looked like, I can't sit up here and argue and tell them what it's like to experience Germany because I've only experienced it through pictures because I never left the United States of America. That's what I'm talking about. So see, everybody's mindset, everybody around you, fall back and when you know, because you can't tell everybody everything, you know what I'm saying? But when you fall back and you're doing the work, like people tell us, why are y'all going through the master's program? Why are y'all being counselors? Y'all done already did this. Y'all done did the military. Your husband's retired from the military, and this and this and this, because it's not about us. It's who God is going to bless. Who he going to use us to bless. Who he going to use us to touch and minister to and bless. Okay, but see, some of y'all don't understand that on today for the simple fact that your mindset is minimal, boo. Your mindset is minimal. So for those of you who are married and God gave you a vision and you done did a Habakkuk 2 and 2 and you done wrote the vision and you done made it plain and you got people around you, whether it be in your family, in your church, on your job, or whatever the case, your good girlfriend who's belittling you, you shouldn't do that because they talking out of their own fears. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about what God has gave them. They're speaking out of their own fears. And what you do is you become stagnant and you and your husband or husband and wife, you start to stink. The ones who are around you talking negatives, them are probably the same ones that God is telling you their season is up in your life because they're not going to be your support system. They can't go with you to the point of where I'm taking you to. You see what I'm saying? And some of y'all happen to be married to some of those people. Now, I'm not going to say cut them off. What I'm going to do is say pray for them. And what I'm going to do is say when your husband or your wife is speaking negativity inside y'all's marriage, you know what I'm saying? That they're not lifting you up and they're not supporting you, pray for them. You speak life to them even though they're speaking death to you. That'll preach. Come on now. Woo! God allowed me to come back on the pulpit and I'm telling you that's probably going to be one of my first sermons, okay? But you speak life to them as they speak death to you. You tell them God bless you and I love you. You know what I'm saying? But you continue to do what it is that God has called you to do. Because when I look back over the obedience of what God, I started off in Mary Kay to learn the business. But see, it wasn't for me to, in a sense, level up in Mary Kay. God wanted me to learn some things. And then he dropped in our spirit, okay, now it's time for y'all to open up y'all's own business. And we opened up our own business. There's people right on here right now who then walked into the presence of our own business. And God has said, every time you open up the doors, I want you to pray over that business. And see, from that business, follow me now, came the business owners of the radio station who happened to come into our business, and it was impressed upon their heart. You all are doing an amazing thing in the community. You are doing an amazing thing with the people. And for 6 months, it was a battle. We believe that you should have your own radio show, your husband and your wife. No, we ain't trying to do that. We ain't trying to do that. Here we go with Marriage Mondays with the Kings. And from that, of Marriage Mondays with the Kings, came the master's program at University of Mary Hardin Baylor, the best master's program in Central Texas, okay? And then it came me and my husband being in the master's program. What's next? See, some of y'all are not able to enjoy your what's next because you're not being obedient to the vision that God has given you out of fear of what other people are going to say. Baby, let me tell you, when you husband and wife and you come on one accord, it's no jealousy, but it's straight unity in your marriage. Let me tell you as an example of how God will bless your marriage. When I was shaking in fear, God, I don't know nothing about running no business. My husband ain't never ran no business. What you mean? You want us to open up an actual business? And I laid down to sleep and I woke up and looked at my husband. He said, what did God give you? And then that's when God told us, if you two quit looking at each other as husband and wife as the enemy, and y'all come on one accord, I'm gonna bless you more than you can even ask or think. And God has done it. See, some of y'all are not being blessed because you're looking at your husband or your wife as the enemy instead of being their biggest cheerleader. Baby, No, I don't wish, because I don't play about my husband. But I was about to say, I wish somebody would try to tell my man of God what he's not capable of doing. Because when my husband come and tell me, baby, you know, and they told me I couldn't do. Who told you? Baby, I ain't gonna get all up in their face. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna pray about that thing and put some prayer on it, because that's what a praying wife do, baby. I'm put some prayer on it. Okay, Mr. King, let's pray and make sure we ain't operating out of flesh. Okay, God gave us the green light. What we gonna do? What you need help with? And baby, I'm gonna be standing up there smiling right beside him. You hear me looking all cute, represent my king. Because see, when somebody try to tell you what you can't do, and God has put in your heart what he wants you to do, I'm going to need you to come on one accord and do what thus says the Lord if you really want to be blessed. I don't even know where God is taking. God has showed me the end result and the vision of where he taking me and my husband. And God has showed some of y'all the end result too. But y'all ain't doing the work. Y'all operating on faith that God will get you there, but you ain't doing the work, baby. God can be your navigator. Come on, somebody. And God can say, you have to turn left here, you have to turn right, but baby, it's going to take you and your spouse to get into the car and drive in the direction that God is telling you to. So don't be sitting up here getting mad at your spouse with your lip all poked out. Oh, we ain't gonna never. Oh, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why can't y'all come on one accord and be each other's biggest cheerleader? Y'all, why we not doing that? Okay. So I don't know who this is for on this morning, but I'm gonna say this one last thing. God has given you a vision. God has spoken it to you, whatever that it is, over and over and over again. God has given you the instruction, and you're not doing it based out of fear. Fear of what somebody else is going to say in your family, or fear of what your spouse is going to say. But baby, let me tell you, God may be using you and your husband, or husband and your wife, to be the example to many. If we would have stopped right there in Beauty Is My Business studio, our business that we had, and told the owners of KRGN, no, we're not going to do no radio show. No, out of fear, I wouldn't even know most of y'all. I wouldn't even be like, hey, girl, I'm from California. I wouldn't even know nothing. I wouldn't be able, and my husband, to bless people at a greater level. So some of y'all, God is designed for you to bless people at a greater level, but you're not doing it because of your own fear. Get out of yourself. And like, you know, me and my husband, it's not about you, boo. It's not about you. It's about God using the both of you for greater. But he can't do that if y'all too busy looking at each other as the enemy and y'all not coming on one accord. Okay? So y'all have a blessed day. Don't let anybody steal your joy, baby. Share this for all your haters who try to tell you, come on now, share this because it's free. Be a blessing to somebody today and not a curse. And your girl, don't let anybody steal your joy. Your girl Shan will be back with you all on tomorrow. Well, whatever it is that God placed on my heart. So God bless you. Listen to it again if you have to. Be your spouse's biggest cheerleader. Don't let the devil have no joy. Only God get the glory, okay? And your girl Shan will be back with y'all on tomorrow. So God bless and blessings to you.